Yes. 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 Last hit.
When did you start to believe that this was a real thing, that he really did want to come back?
Well, certainly when he moved into the gym.
Like literally moved
He
in?
literally moved in.
We're living, breathing, and sleeping in the gym. Literally.
Here we are.
I live in the gym. I have a base here, and I have a base in my coach John's gym.
I had a storage room, and he asked, could he put a bed in it? And I was like, sure.
Sleeping there?
Yeah.
He has probably a mansion.
He does.
And how long ago was this?
Christmas.
He's just living there?
Yeah.
Does he go back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so a couple of nights of the week he was sleeping there, especially on sparring days. Well, for him it's early, 11 a.m. So he can get up at 10:45.
Why does he have to live there?
It was a certain mindset that comes with that. You're in that environment. From 6 a.m. the gym is loud and busy. I thought it was a great idea, so I said.
Did you think he would?
I get a free security guard.
Yeah, that's right. Was it from Christmas on, like up until the whole?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you think he would stick with it?
No.
No. How long did you think it would last? Like a week?
A day.
A day. Wow. Yeah. So what did this tell you?
A lot. But anyway, look, here we are.
Yeah.
Fight week. We're a few days out. He's in a fantastic place. Everything is on track. Weight's easy. The camp has been fantastic. When you get second judge, round one.
Switch your stance. Hands down by your side. Rotate toward me just a little bit.
Here's Conor doing some wrestling in a recent camp. Now, again, I don't think this is going to be Max offensively wrestling like this. But again, you see the body work. You see the teeps to the body. You see the body punching. This is something I think Conor really wants to utilize again against Max specifically, because Max does hold a bit of a high guard. He doesn't really look to protect his body. Most people don't in MMA, to be honest with you. You don't see a lot of, like, outside of body kicks being protected with the elbow. You don't see a lot of guys really flinching on the body punches, but they're super effective. And as much as Max, says he's the best boxer in the UFC, you want to drop those hands from Max. Conor can do it with the body kicks, with the body punches, and then open up the chin for the left hand. And I'm not even sure, we're not giving a super good Max look here, but we're just kind of there. And I don't know if any of this will really have any effect on the fight. But I'm just trying to get a look at what new Conor, looks like a bit. Obviously, he's a lot more bulky.
But there again, if you tell me you think Conor's going to win, I'm hearing you think Conor's going to knock him out. If you tell me you think Conor's going to knock him out, I'm hearing you think he's going to do it in the first round. If you tell me you think Conor's going to knock him out in the first round, I'm hearing Conor's going to land that left hand. And if Conor is going to beat Max by knockout in the first round, it is going to be with that left hand.
The octagon lights blaze to life. The crowd falls silent, holding its breath as two of MMA's most decorated fighters step forward toward their fate. Conor McGregor, the explosive counter-striker, and Max Holloway, the relentless volume machine, are set to collide once more to settle unfinished business. But among the pros, the coaches, and the analysts, opinions splinter in every direction. Who dictates the range, whose conditioning wins out late, and which adjustments ultimately tipped the scales.
What do you think Max doesn't understand about fighting at 170? What is he not realizing until he gets in there and actually tries it?
Listen, there's a different thud when you fight against me. So when you fought, I've mentioned against Max many years ago. I fought you, I improved with time.
You said multiple times during your media tour in New York that rematches is like an honorable thing to grant. When they came to you with Max's name, I know there was others, but when Max came to you, were you like, yeah, no, I want to prove that rematches should be given if they're out?
I love a rematch. Who doesn't love the story builds, the tension builds, the fans get excited, they've got comparisons, it's great for business. I'm all for it.
McGregor opens with a blunt warning aimed straight at Holloway. The real lessons, he says, don't come from film study, they come from inside the cage, where the brutal physics of a heavier weight class simply take over. No amount of tape prep can ready you for a trap built purely on lived experience. If McGregor's read is right, Holloway's famous chin and output could look completely different once real welterweight power starts landing, turning the whole fight into a desperate race against the clock.
Get that back. I can guarantee you the next fight is going to be way better than the first one. This is 11 years ago, Max.
Years ago. That's crazy, right? I mean, that's insane, man. And taking the words out of the man's mouth himself, he said, the only wins he count is finishes. So technically, in his words, he doesn't have a win over me. So it's not even Max Holloway versus McGregor 2. It's stood the first one, And at the end of the day, we have 25 minutes now instead of 15. So I'm excited, man. I can't wait to go out there, and get my hand raised, and not only get my hand raised, we're in a sport of entertainment. You gotta get your hand raised in exciting fashion. So I need a big finish, and if not a big finish, just a dominant, exciting win. You can be dominant in a fight, but not exciting. That can hurt your stock. So at the end of the day, I gotta go out there, be exciting, raise up my stock, and we see what UFC want to do next.
Holloway, on the other hand, views this less as a fight and more as a chance to rewrite the record books. His confidence this time comes from a different place: more rounds, higher stakes, and finally the opportunity to settle an old score once and for all. But he also understands that simply winning won't be enough. He needs to make a statement, whether that's a finish or a performance so dominant it leaves zero room for debate. And Holloway isn't speaking like someone bracing to survive McGregor's power. He's speaking like a man who expects to seize control of the fight, elevate his own legacy, and walk away with a win that shifts the entire narrative.
Mystic Max have arrived. He's taking it is what it is, so I'm taking Mystic Max.
What does Mystic Max predict for this week?
We drown him. We're going to give him an old Hawaii-style beating and drown him. We're taking him deep waters.
Holloway backs that up with a direct warning of his own. His plan is simple: bury McGregor under his signature pace, relentless pressure, and nonstop volume until his opponent simply can't keep up anymore. The longer this fight drags on, he says, the uglier it gets for McGregor, with every passing round chipping away at his ability to stay in it. McGregor might have the early advantage, but Holloway's talking like a man who fully expects the late rounds to belong to him and him alone.
In Conor's style requires an incredible output. Striking fast, striking while being hit. It requires an incredible output. And this mountain isn't insurmountable. By the way, my partners at DraftKings have this less than 3-1. They got Max the favorite, but it was 280. That is shockingly close. That is shockingly close for a guy that's been out for half a decade, going into a new weight class, going into a 5-round atmosphere. But there is a case for Conor. There is. That left hand is an incredible equalizer. But there again, if you tell me you think Conor's going to win, I'm hearing you think Conor's going to knock him out. If you tell me you think Conor's going to knock him out, I'm hearing you think he's going to do it in the first round. If you tell me you think Conor's going to knock him out in the first round, I'm hearing Conor's going to land that left hand. And if Conor is going to beat Max by knockout in the first round, it is going to be with that left hand.
Chael Sonnen sharpens that picture even more. Arguing McGregor's road to victory is razor thin. He needs to move fast, keep the pace high early, and land that one clean left hand before Holloway's volume ever gets a chance to build. The odds are close enough to make McGregor genuinely dangerous, but not close enough to suggest a long, grinding fight favors him in any way. If he wins this thing, it almost certainly comes early and clean, off that same signature shot that's ended so many arguments over the years. At this point, it's less about a broad, back-and-forth matchup, and more about one narrow, explosive window McGregor has to hit before Holloway's pressure flips the whole script against him.
No, but if he wins, and of course, it's a big if. It's a big if, because you got to think, if he's going to get it done, it'll only be in spectacular fashion. Because if Conor McGregor is going to win this fight, it will only be if he knocks him out in the first round. Yeah. And I say that respectfully. I'm looking at it through my analytical hat, not a personal hat or anything like that. He's never had a 5-round style. He's just never been that guy. He's always gassed the later the fight goes. Typically in round 2, he starts to fade because he's an explosive fast starter. And after 5 years away, there's no way. And I'm sure he's trained hard, and I'm sure he's prepared, and I'm sure he's ready. But I don't think he's preparing harder now than what he was pre-2000.
Michael Bisping lines up with that same read, and he keeps his take simple. If McGregor wins this thing, it won't be through some grueling, technical 5-rounder, it'll be a first-round knockout. The kind of sudden, violent statement that fits his most dangerous form. McGregor has never really been built for sustained pressure across 5 rounds, and his time away from the cage only makes that limitation more glaring. His only realistic path to victory, in Bisping's eyes, is to end it fast, before the fight ever gets the chance to become a real fight.
People think that Max is just going to walk for him from the start. It ain't going to be that easy. He's going to have big problems early, and I think Max is going to give him that respect and not let him land them big shots. So maybe we don't see him be as successful as he could be if Max was just like, he's done and just wanted to be quite aggressive. He could definitely give Max some problems. Max is going to be clever enough where we won't really see that, but I still think that Conor will be dangerous enough where we're going to be like, oh shit, Max needs to be careful, but I think he's going to do the right things to make them adjustments. Stay out of the big danger. Maybe when he gets hit, maybe not running into them big shots as much.
Alexander Volkanovski widens that lens a bit further, warning that McGregor can still bring real danger to those opening exchanges. Even if Holloway eventually settles into his rhythm, that doesn't mean he simply walks through McGregor from the opening bell. The early rounds could get genuinely tricky, especially if McGregor earns enough respect to keep his power a real factor. Still, Volkanovski's core belief holds Holloway smart enough to adjust on the fly, stay disciplined, and steer clear of that one clean shot capable of flipping the entire fight in an instant.
I think it's just going to be too much for Conor, and you're going to just see Max get his hand raised, maybe get a finish. Can he hurt him, get him to the ground, and then maybe get a submission? You could maybe see that as well. When people crumble and get really tired, there's always a submission there. Gamble responsibly, but there's probably good coin for a submission over a TKO. If you wanted to be a sneaky bet, that could be something, because he will melt him. And when he's melted and just sort of going there shooting because he's so tired, is a submission going to be the way to go? When he turns over and just gives it back, and then, all right, may as well take the submission. Maybe we see that. So, Max Holloway for the win, 100%, maybe submission TKO if he melts him. Going to be a fun fight, mad card, plenty to talk about in this International Fight Week card. But hey, let's have fun with this.
Volkanovski leans even further toward Holloway, arguing this fight ultimately comes down to attrition once McGregor's early burst starts to fade. Holloway isn't just looking to win rounds, he wants full control of the fight, grinding McGregor down to a point where a finish becomes not just possible, but likely.
We got Conor McGregor. I'm not 100% sold. I'm praying this guy shows up. I mean, he's got to show up now. What are we 10 days out? We're 10 days out from Conor McGregor making the walk again. It's going to be so fucking sweet. 170 pounds. Max Holloway. I've been watching some of his vlogs. He's been sparring with Jack Madalena. He's been sparring with this guy that we know named Keone Diggs.
Oh, really?
who's got just a great left hand, a great southpaw left hand. I'm fired up for the fight. This is a lot of pressure on Conor. Hopefully he's going in there. This might be the last time you see Conor McGregor ever compete again.
If he goes out there, we
see him go dink, dink, dink. He tattoos his ass, puts him down, and now we got Conor McGregor versus Justin Gaethje on the horizon.
Tim Welch keeps that momentum leaning toward Holloway too, though he frames it more as a pressure test for McGregor. There's no guarantee the best version of McGregor even shows up, and that uncertainty alone makes this fight feel bigger than it might otherwise be. If he doesn't answer the bell the right way, this could genuinely end up being the final real chapter of his run. Still, Holloway's preparation speaks for itself, his late-night sparring sessions and southpaw work point to a fighter building toward a sharp, confident performance, one that could open the door to even bigger fights down the line.
Denim Chicken, welcome to the club. Pub Dad says, I'm so hyped for Conor. I want to think he can win, but you think of anyone else that's made successful comeback after 5 years? Seems a mountain for him to climb. This thing with Conor, though, do you ever really count him out? Out of all the guys that have come through the UFC, is Conor really the one you want to doubt? Also, huge Max Holloway fan, but he's looking a little too thick for my liking, for Max Holloway fan. Looking a little too thick. Conor looks damn good at 170. Damn good.
Brendan Schaub, by contrast, brings a more conflicted, hesitant layer to the whole conversation. He's not fully willing to write McGregor off, not after everything the man's meant to the sport and who he once was at his peak. He also notes that at this new weight, McGregor genuinely looks sharper and more physically dangerous than expected. Schaub's prediction keeps the narrative balanced in a different way. His warning is simple. Once that cage door shuts, doubting McGregor has burned plenty of people before, and it could easily happen again.
I have to be patient with this fight. He's gonna have to be patient and really find that timing. With Max Holloway, bro, he's just gonna move, he's gonna punch. If Max plays the distance game a little bit and kicks Conor a little bit and gets him kind of the fatigue, he's in trouble, dude. So Conor really does have to be patient, maybe take a couple of shots to eventually counter him with that beautiful left. You know, what he did to Eddie Alvarez, and just catch him, dude. I would say be patient and counter, but it's 5 years, Kamaru. It's not 2 years. It's not 3 years. It's not 4 years. It's 5 years, man. But if anybody can get it done with power, it is Conor McGregor. And if he does get it done, there's a fight between him and you know who. Justin, the highlight Gaethje.
Henry Cejudo keeps that thread alive, circling back to what he sees as McGregor's clearest path to victory. He can't chase this fight or force the pace he needs to let Holloway come forward and wait for that one window where his left hand can change everything in a single instant. That said, Cejudo isn't ignoring the 5-year layoff either. It frames McGregor as a genuinely dangerous test, while still leaving that massive question mark hanging over everything. Can he actually convert that power into a real, complete comeback?
He's the king, man. Look, maybe he's not the best fighter in the world. He's the king. He did more for mixed martial arts than any single fighter did for any combat sport in the world. He did more for that, and he's back, and he's the best Conor McGregor I've ever seen. Talking to him is like talking to a guy that I don't even know. He's unbelievably focused. He's unbelievably trained. He's fast. He's furious, and he's ready to cause some damage. I will be there front row at that UFC event and rooting him on. I think it's going to be, I can't bet on the fights, but if I could, I'd bet the house on Conor McGregor.
David Feldman, meanwhile, offers a far more glowing, almost testimonial take on the whole buildup. He insists McGregor looks sharper than he's ever looked, with genuine confidence radiating from this comeback. This isn't the same fighter from years past. Feldman argues this is someone fundamentally rebuilt. Betting with total certainty on how this plays out, Feldman's already promising to be front row, ready to witness the transformation up close. As far as he's concerned, McGregor's about to deliver the single most defining statement of his entire career.
You have an official pick for that main event?
I'm going to go for Max Holloway on that one. Yeah, I think he's just been super active, and he's just, a great fighter, high IQ. And the later this fight goes, if Conor doesn't get like a quick knockout, I think it plays more into Max Holloway's hands.
Seems to be the very common consensus across the board of everyone I'm asking, and I tend to agree as well.
Circling back to that same pressure point of activity, Mario Bautista believes Holloway's pace and consistency alone could be enough to swing the decision his way, especially if McGregor's explosiveness fails to actually threaten him. The deeper this fight drifts, the more it plays right into Holloway's comfort zone. And at the end of the day, every single prediction seems to loop back to the same core question. Can McGregor turn this into a short, violent night, or does Holloway drag him into a pace he simply can't survive? Some are betting on McGregor's power, timing, and early danger as the great equalizer, while others believe Holloway's relentless pressure, activity, and durability will steadily take over and expose the gap somewhere across 5 rounds. However it all unfolds, this fight feels built for pure drama,